Hi, greenhouse lovers. Today I'm reporting from outside of the greenhouse because it's just too hot in the greenhouse. I'm feeling kind of sorry for the species that live in there that maybe are overheating. I can't do much about it though. I will water excessively later. But I wanted to tell you some interesting things. One is we did get the bird out yesterday when my daughter reached out with her hands and scooped it up and put it out. We had a big discussion later about whether you're supposed to touch or not supposed to touch birds or any species, because then their family nest won't welcome them back. But I think lots of species touch lots of other species and then they are still welcomed into their communities, or maybe they're not, and that was the end of it for this bird. But I felt so many emotions watching it struggle against the windows and dancing on the rope and then fluttering about in a mixture of earnest searching and also curiosity and appreciation, I think. Anyway, I want to talk today about something that I think is really important, and that is keeping food out of landfills and even out of compost. I have this book that I just got by two really nice authors, lovely people, Margaret Lee and Irene Lee. Margaret goes by May. You may know these women. They wrote a book called Perfectly Good Food. They've written other things too, but I don't feel like I need to give them any more advertising. But I wanted to talk about their idea of not wasting anything that is edible and healthy, even if it looks a little bit weird or discolored, or you think, a carrot top? I can't eat that. But actually, you can and you should. Radish tops. All kinds of food in all stages of decay or evolution before they become inedible. One really interesting thing, which I always struggle with, that I want to share with you, I think that they deserve credit for this, the May and Irene Lee sisters, is the making of vinaigrette dressing, salad dressing. And I always just do olive oil and vinegar, and I find it kind of boring. So today I learned that there's a base that you can start with, and that is 2 parts olive oil and 1 part apple cider vinegar and 1 part salt equals the base. So that's 2 parts olive oil, 1 part apple cider vinegar, and 1 part salt to make the base. And then if you want something a bit sweet, you can use 1 part base, 1 part Dijon mustard, and 1 part maple syrup. If you want something to be dressing to be tangy and creamy, you can go 1 part base, 1 part vegan or other animal yogurt, and lemon, squirt of lemon, fresh lemon, not from a bottle or whatever people use in the modern era. If you want it to be nutty and creamy, you can use 1 part base, 1 part tahini, 1 squirt of lemon, or 1 part lemon and 1 part honey. And if you want salty and umami, you can use 1 part base, 1 part capers, 1 part garlic, so maybe chopped, mashed garlic. Even you could do roasted garlic. Yum. 1 part vegan or otherwise mayonnaise, and 1 part Dijon mustard. These women recommend creating a part of your refrigerator that is the Eat Me First section. How often have I or people in my family put part of a onion or a half of a apple or part of a banana that you just didn't need or didn't want, and then it could be used later, easily integrated into something, but we don't remember to use it because it gets shoved to the back of the refrigerator, or it gets put in. We have a ginger and garlic basket on our little table by the dishwasher, and it gets full of old kind of gnarly bits of ginger, which are actually super edible, and you can eat the skin of ginger as well. So anyway, if you start, those are my 2 ideas for the day. These ideas for vinegar or dressings for salads or sandwich sauces or anything like that, and then also having a section in your fridge that's dedicated to receiving odds and ends that you should use first next time you dip in for something like grated onions for a recipe. So yeah, that's a fun book that you can check out. I'll get a big fat commission for every purchase, I'm sure. And I hope you're watering morning, noon, and night in this heat if you're in a hot place. But being sensitive to overwatering and also to crowding out vegetables that need space, giving them space by trimming back weeds. My garden is full of weeds that take all the nutrients, and then the zucchini or the tomatoes or the kohlrabi, or I've also got these beautiful purple cabbages. They're getting crowded out, and the tomatoes, the strawberries too. So pulling away the weeds that drain and proliferate. Why are they so easy to grow? My neighbor's having a chat with his mother. Just being aware of the drainage of resources across the board. Have a really beautiful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.